Welcome to ESPN's coverage of women's college soccer. We have one more game to play, and it is coming your way from Kansas City, Missouri and CPKC Stadium. This is the 2025 NCAA Women's College Cup Final. Let's get you to the starting lineups and meet the third seed, the Florida State Seminoles.
And they'll come out in a 4-3-3. McGovern will play in that holding midfield role with Okeke and Gilchrist in that center back position. Watch for Suarez, though. She'll play underneath at times off that right side, underneath Dudley and Hudson. She'll look to facilitate play off the dribble to set them up for success.
No changes to that lineup for Florida State from their semifinal. For the Stanford Cardinal, Paul Ratcliffe's group also lining up with the same starting 11.
And their fluid midfield is what sets them apart. Harvey and Kohler, when they're at their best, are in the starting 11 in the 10 spot. Klinger and Kitahata will occupy the wide spaces, but they could go behind Win as well.
Stanford in the black, Florida State in the white, ready to face off for the national championship. So let's love the game. Let's crown a champion in Kansas City tonight. Florida State falling victim to the Stanford Cardinal team in October in Tallahassee. Stanford does tend to get off to quick starts, and they do unleash the first shot of the match. Jasmine Ike had the game winner from a free kick in the semifinal against Duke on Friday night for the Cardinal. Feel they have a strong group playing well right now, although they did say even though they lost that matchup, Brian Penske felt his team had the better of the play.
He did, and part of that was just their ability to transition like this, press from the front.
This is Suarez unleashing a shot just wide. Okeke and Gilchrist, the two who will hold things down on the back line for the Seminoles. This is McGovern, had it taken off her foot. Charlotte Kohler moving forward quickly. New Klinger was coming up on her right. Klinger puts it back in front of the goal, and no problem in the end for O'Keene.
Well, that's where you see the explosion from Charlotte Kohler, what she can do quickly. She's not there, then all of a sudden she is. Sets this 3v2 attacking transition moment, finds Klinger. But Mimi Van Zanten, give her a lot of credit. She was on a full sprint to get back and make sure that wasn't a better chance on frame.
Kitahata on it in the box, and it rolls into the ground. Boys, Stanford coming out early, popping a lot of shots off. This is what they do. They score early, and they stay ahead.
And Kitahata can just get on this. She loves the 1v1 isolation wide. Doesn't get a lot of power on the shot. Perhaps would have been better served just to play that across, but the mentality piece, you're not going to fault your forward for going to goal.
Has Kohler on the move. Kohler, plenty of time here to serve it across, and she does. Klinger, header up and over! Stanford has come out firing in this national championship game.
My goodness, it's the interchange between Ike and Kohler that sets up this entire play. Played in behind, McGovern's tracking. Kohler has a lot of time to pick out Eleanor Klinger on the back post, but what a save from O'Keene. It's right at her, but she has to parry this over the top. She does it, and she keeps Florida State in it.
There's a great look at that save, the extension from the freshman in goal, and now here comes the first corner of the match for the Cardinal. This really gave Duke problems, and you can see why. What a good look there.
And I see why O'Keene is organizing her team. There are these clear headers in front. It was Ike in this moment, played right into the top of the 6-yard box. No one stays with her in that moment, and O'Keene's big.
At the near post this time. Stanford just one blemish on the season this time around. Played back to O'Keene.
That was the first time we were really seeing Stanford settle into their build-up shape. And watch,
Hudson is making her run down the middle. What a ball! Just a little bit to the side. Elise Evans, the All-American defender for the Cardinal, had it covered.
And that's what she has to do. She has to drop immediately when there's not pressure on the ball.
Boy, this is up and down right now. Kitahata onto it. Kitahata into the box. Ike, couple defenders around her. Kohler. Ball just passed right to the feet of Torre, and now Dudley eludes one defender Jordan Dudley on her way toward goal, and that Stanford defense does not give up on the play. Hudson had the game winner in the semifinal against TCU, lays it off from McCormack. Now Suarez driving at the back line, takes her shot. She's had a couple of good looks.
She has that inside position where she's able to get it in transition and take off, and with the distraction of Hudson and Dudley being central and pinning the center backs, with this drive of McCormack, it allows Suarez to isolate in the 1v1, create a half yard of space, and look for a goal.
Florida State finishing 4th in the ACC regular season field, but they also love her in the back and want her to get forward from that outside back position. Kitahara, grand theft. That gives it right back.
Battle of transition, try to keep the ball. What a great turn in midfield from Torre. Now she can facilitate play.
You can see how that opened things up, and look who she finds. It's Dudley making a run for it, and Caroline Burkle really has her first action of this match.
Great management of space behind the back line from Burkle. If they're going to step a little bit higher, she has to have that higher starting position as a goalkeeper. The ball's played in. Dudley was not making the diagonal run inside. That allows Burkle to come out and cut the angle.
Florida State 15-2-4. Dudley won't get away with that one. Pretty clear from a referee explanation there.
And she was coming from behind. I think it looked worse than it was, but she had a little bit of a hip check there as Sammy Smith went up. I would like this. If I'm a coach on the sideline, I like what Jordan Dudley did there because she used her body.
Klinger. Got the cross through. Shot taken quickly. Boy, O'Keen having to be on her toes. No hesitation. And Stanford not done yet.
Unbelievable from O'Keen in that moment. Right in front, not from far out. It was the header, and Charlotte Kohler reacts well. O'Keen reacts even better. And this is tough because it's going down. She has to get down the opposite way of where her body was moving to the right to react back to her left to make the save.
Interesting to see one here, and she'll get initially tested as this ball falls to Dudley's feet. Dudley in the box, cuts it back. Was looking for Hudson, who was open to be fair, but so too was the shot.
I like that Dudley continued to play because there was an advantage in this moment. Still a 1v1 opportunity, and when you have Jordan Dudley going 1v1, you certainly don't want her to slow down. There was a little clip of the leg on Lizzie Wama there in that moment. Murdoch comes across. Dudley does everything right.
Kitahara turning toward goal. Simmons defending. Kitahara kept it in, and O'Keen taking no chances.
And that might be one of those saves that doesn't necessarily make a highlight reel, but the reality is she cuts the angle off. Kitahara gets to the inline, goes to keep it in as it deflects off her, but by O'Keen coming across, she doesn't even allow an opportunity for a Stanford attacking player to get on the end. Suarez takes over and goes in attacking transition.
Suarez heading toward goal. Lays it right in front for Dudley. Dudley! That does take a deflection on the way out, and the Seminoles finally getting something going in their attack.
Well, this is that attacking transition we were talking about off the press. Suarez gets a little bit of a deflection. She finds Dudley and coming across, goes off the foot of the defender in this moment. Good vision from the midfielder. Great 1v1 defending, and eventually goes off Murdoch, who's the covering player for Elise Evans.
Taylor Suarez setting it down from the corner. She has already set up goals off of corner kicks twice in this NCAA tournament. Puts the ball in the box. A lot of great targets there. You look at Hudson, nobody can reach the 6'2" height of the sophomore. Klinger does a good job here just keeping it long enough to allow her teammates to catch up with her, but then does put it up over the crossbar, and looks like they're saying that was touched, so Stanford will get a corner, their third of this first half. Here comes the corner for Stanford, headed back into the fray. No follow-up to be had, at least initially. Freer, flick back toward goal, and O'Keen calling her defenders off, has it under control. And Dudley has been such a handful. Bumped off the ball by Wama here. That'll set up a free kick.
So clever, so clever. Experience of Dudley to understand that there's so much aggression in defending her. And she just decides, you know what, I'm not gonna go anywhere with this. I just have to protect the ball, and I can use that aggression against the Stanford defender in Wrianna. She does it well with this last little step right in front, initiates the contact, draws the foul.
Suarez to do the honors. Looking toward Dudley. McCormack still on it, takes the shot. Oh my, a little high.
Well, it's really well done though. Because of that sustained possession, they're able to get McGrew a little bit higher, get Dudley in next to Hudson again, more of that two front that they like to see. It open space for McCormack. She goes for goal. It doesn't dip down quite enough, but that extra passing allows for some shape to take place, some space to open up for the midfielder.
Part of what makes her such a special player, and then she understands, Casey, doesn't she, how to use her body as the defenders are trying to keep up with her.
Well, it's 2 fouls right in a row there, and so they're going to give a yellow card. But I love what Dudley's doing. She's getting the ball. She's using her defensive shape to dispossess. Then she just puts her head down, goes right at Murdoch. Wrianna's already out of the play. Murdoch has no cover. Jordan Dudley sees that. She doesn't do it by accident. She sees the space, and she tries to draw the foul.
Dudley heads it back in front of goal. Can't connect with a teammate. Kitahara, 6-year player for the Cardinal. Puts it in the box! Brooke Holden on now for Stanford, replacing Ike for the final few minutes of the first half, and tempers flaring perhaps. Dudley made that look far too easy.
That's well done by Elon Wynn, and that's a player that hasn't actually been on the ball very much for Stan. That was done early in the game, and I think that's got to give them the advantage, even though Florida State has figured out how to make them more uncomfortable.
McGrew stepping up and over Kohler after making the stop was called for the foul. We'll get a warning as well. I just appreciate the referee in this situation, Rashawn Clark, not being quick to pull out a card, but he is having conversations.
Well, he's looking to control it. Just want to make sure you control at this point. You don't want to make any decisions that are really going to change the trajectory of the game unless they're absolutely warranted. But these two players going after it.
This will be Wen driving the ball into the box. Will deliver the ball. Kohler picking it up. Wrianna. Up and over. Caroline Burkle. How about the fact that there are 2 freshman goalkeepers, and Dudley thought she got away with that one.
It's worth it though, Jen, just a step in that moment. Lily Freer is being forced to the inside. Jordan Dudley is curving her run at an angle to not allow Wrianna to get on the ball in the outside channel. That she takes the risk to step in. She doesn't get enough of the ball, too much of the body in this moment. But that puts a thought in Lily Freer's head to play a little bit quicker. And if you do win it, you're going right to goal.
So some early pressure there from Jordan Dudley in the second half, and are separating the two of them.
Now that's a foul.
Well, and see, I think sort of that's an example of Simmons saying, well, she got away with it down there. I'm going to try it too.
Yeah, but the difference for me right here is just complete control of the ball. For me, Klinger's going out of bounds. It's left her feet. Elon Wynn is in much more control here as she takes that contact.
Field now, however, it's at the feet of Ike. She unleashes a shot, and it doesn't miss by much.
I figured that long-range shot was going to be coming from Jasmine Ike. She hasn't been able to face up a lot. She's done a lot of back-to-goal play, playing really well. But as the back line is retreating, she sets it up off her left foot. She has scored a lot of goals from distance this year. Just wraps around it a little bit too much. I like this from Ike, though.
Still manages to slither herself out of traffic often. McCormack picks it up. Simmons, her shot from distance is low and smothered by Burkle.
It was a good change of point from McCormack, finding Simmons. She had an eye for goal right away, you could tell, but then with that pressure, just wasn't able to connect enough. Burkle does well.
So that is not the last we'll see of Kitahara. You can be sure.
Definitely not. They're going to want her to come in. She'll come off. She'll get a little rest, a little bit of instruction, and just some spaces. She's so cerebral in the way she plays. So just one nugget of information that can be given to her.
Top 6. Tough to find a goal in this one so far. Ike stumbling, bumbling, does draw the foul. Watch out. This is Jasmine Ike territory when it comes to free kicks. Buddha and Ike, the two players for Stanford near the ball. Ike will unleash it toward the goal! She was going for it, Casey White!
And why not? If you can strike a ball like Jasmine Ike, if I had that as part of my game, I would have done it all the time too. This is incredible. O'Keen comes across, just doesn't quite get enough on it, but O'Keen reads it well at the last second, comes across, parries it away. Well done not to try to bring that down, just make sure it's out of the frame of goal.
Save at number 7 on the night. Simmons to ground. Montoya saw an opening header right at the goalkeeper O'Keen, who's there once again.
This is incredible play in the wide area. I love the composure from Ali Montoya. She gets Simmons on the ground, then she clips it up in the air, giving Shea Harvey a chance. Shea Harvey does everything she can to stretch. O'Keen with another save.
Feel anything right now other than a real burning desire to come away with the trophy.
This is really interesting because it looked like Heather Gilchrist initiated the original contact with Jasmine Ike just to slow her down. But I love seeing these battles, Jen, in these 1v1 environments. You can just see so much is on the line. So it's right there just getting in front. But Heather Gilchrist does a good job dipping her shoulder in there at the last minute.
Yeah, two elite players battling. Dudley into the box. Jordan Dudley looking toward goal. Couldn't get the bend on the ball. Did get a touch though. Deflects out off of Stanford. Corner coming for the Seminoles.
Well, the manipulation of play allowed Jordan Dudley to get on the inside. She's trying to curve it to that back post area. It just takes a little deflection right at the end as Elise Evans intervenes.
Boy, not much. Maybe just a little
slight
bit. But it's enough for a corner. Just the third of this match for Florida State. Here comes the ball into the box. Burkle out for it with authority. Dudley on it again. And Burkle snags it out of the air. Low cross.
Yeah, that's one of those challenges to your point that if it's in the middle of the field and you don't challenge, you might call that. But because she's clearing space, they usually don't call that in the penalty area.
Number 27 as Florida State continues forward. Suarez uses her movement. Thought she had a foul there, but no whistle blown. And the official, Rashawn Clark, was right on top of it. And then there's some frustration coming out of Jordan Dudley. She'll get a yellow card coming up to the referee like that. But I think we all want another look at what just happened to Suarez.
So Suarez gets the ball from Mimi Van Zanten on this little slip pass. She has players centrally. She looks to get beyond. We'll see if there's contact here. It doesn't look like there's a lot of contact in that moment, Jen. Did you see much from Elon Nguyen? I didn't see a whole lot, to be honest, in the run of play.
McGrew. Ball still bouncing in front of the goal. The Seminoles, with 3 minutes on the clock, find their way in front of this national championship game.
And this comes at such a critical moment for Florida State. It's on the resurface. Stanford cannot believe it, but Wrianna Hudson is the hero here at the end of the second half so far. This resurface in, Taylor Suarez hits on the first time. It gets across. She pulls it back away. Give credit to Jordan Dudley as well, coming across, distracting on the near post. Wrianna Hudson gets her feet shuffled, ready to go, puts it in for the go-ahead goal.
My goodness, the sophomore had the game winner in the semifinal on Friday night for Florida State, and now Florida State's goal-scoring leader all season long has the Seminoles in front with 3 minutes to play. That far away from a national championship to this 1-goal lead. Make it stand for a 5th national championship for Florida State. It's flicked on. It's there in front of the goal. Stanford still going for it. Everybody wondering if a whistle is coming. Rashawn Clark says no, but now what do we have? He's going to look at it. Was there a foul on this play?
Body.
After review, final decision, no penalty.
So there you go. No penalty on the play. We are that close from Stanford getting an opportunity.
Margins. It really is. It's such small margins.
Now the crowd just heard the announcement as well. It is Florida State celebrating so close they can taste it. 13 seconds away. And everybody coming up. Jasmine Ike telling goalkeeper Caroline Burkle to get up there too. This is it. If the Cardinal have one last shot at tying this match up, it's going to come here. 13 seconds left. Here comes the service. It was deflected a little bit by Suarez. Stanford looking for a shot. It's put on the ground. It's out of play. Florida State will hang on and win it. Make it 5 for Florida State as the Seminoles win their 3rd national championship in the last 5 years and 5th overall.
We were treated to an unbelievable final. Congratulations to the Florida State Seminoles, 2025 national champions. They fought very hard in this game. Stanford gave them a little bit of everything. Wrianna Hudson is definitely the player that steps up, but you got to talk about Kate O'Keene as well. Unbelievable keeping her team in this game.
9 saves for O'Keene and an ending that is so sweet on the one side and so bitter on the other. Those Stanford seniors like Andrea Kitahara, who came back to win. That unfinished business left unfinished for them as Florida State just found a way, and that's your hero. One of the heroes, as you point out, Wrianna Hudson. Well, your heroes do wear garnet tonight, that's for sure. Garnet and white as Florida State, and Wrianna Hudson with the game winner in the 87th minute.